So as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we get stuck, but we're not stuck because we're lazy or unmotivated or not smart enough or skilled enough. We get stuck because we're fragmented. A lot of times it's paralysis, things like imposter syndrome, things like confusion. It's not about burnout. It's not about a lack of hustle. This is about a lack of clarity. So if you feel like you're working harder than ever, but not quite getting anywhere or moving forward, this is why we need to get clear together on where we're going and how we're getting there. For too long, entrepreneurs and business owners have been told they have to choose between profit and purpose. If you're tired of burning out, done chasing someone else's version of success, and ready to grow with more purpose, prosperity, and peace of mind, you're in the right place. Because every business has the potential to do good and do well. I'm Chase Friedman, and this is In Pursuit of Purpose, where strategy meets soul. So here's what fragmentation looks like. 1 week, you're building a funnel. The next week, trying to crack Instagram. Then you're signing up for another mastermind or chasing another shiny tool, right? Sounding familiar? Been there. This is a daily churn of to-do tasks that we impose upon ourselves. This feels like progress because we're constantly busy, right? We tend to wear this badge of busyness in this hustle culture that we live in. But deep down, or at least it feels like, we're just spinning plates. And every plate takes energy to keep in the air. We don't want to drop anything, let alone break anything. So what's actually moving the needle for us? How are any of these things strategically aligned with where we want to go? Are they moving us forward? If not, they're just holding us back. Look, I'm in the same boat. I see the same enticing marketing messages and tools and AI hacks and workshops on LinkedIn and YouTube and social media. I see it all, right? We are constantly bombarded by this noise. And especially if you've got a little bit of ADHD like myself, you're like shiny object, shiny object, shiny object. This same promise of identity transformation that we are all seeking, which by the way is all branding is about, is getting someone from this place to this desired transformation. We are all tempted and lured by those promises of that transformation. Of course, it's tempting. Of course, I want to earn $100,000 per month while working only 10 hours. We see these all the time. These promises of growth hacking and scaling and earning more by doing less. Very happy that it worked for said guru on LinkedIn or Instagram that you saw. But what's to say that'll work for you or for me? There's a million variables in there that have to be executed just right to replicate that model, let alone to get the same results. Look, we're humans, right? We're consumers. We're not robots. We don't react and respond the same way. And besides, a lot of the time, it's not just about the message, it's the messenger. So all I'm trying to say is we are constantly tempted and lured by these messages of false hope and false promise, or this guilt of feeling like we need to do more. We need to learn more, apply more tools, more strategies, and we end up simply just burdening ourselves to the point of burnout. So I get it. It's really freaking hard to tune out the white noise and this constant onslaught of courses and tools and AI automation, but we've got to learn boundaries. We've got to learn boundaries to protect our time, to protect ourselves, to protect our focus and what is mission critical. Otherwise, we are drowning. So instead of momentum and actually moving forward in your business and growing intentionally, which is what you're really seeking, we become stuck in a cycle of overwork, of exhaustion, and second guessing ourselves. Because of course we do. When the needle is constantly moving, how are we supposed to get clear? How are we supposed to get intentional and actually make progress by going in a singular direction? We'll talk about this in plenty of other episodes, but this is why I really truly believe that having that sort of core purpose as that North Star, as that guiding light is essential. Everything that you take on as a business owner, a strategy, a tactic, a tool should be measured against that purpose, right? Does it align with that vision of the future? Does it align with my reason for being as a business owner? If any of that feels familiar to you, think about this. Have you ever finished a week where you're absolutely burnt out, exhausted, depleted, and you think about, what did I actually accomplish this week? How did I actually move the needle? Is there any significant change or difference from Friday to where I was on Monday? So here's the truth. Disconnected tactics keep you stuck, right? But clarity sets you free. I'll give you an example. When I first started running my agency, and for many, many years, I always thought the answer was more. I had to learn more, do more, execute more, add more services and scope of work, more offers, more campaigns, more clients, of course, more revenue. And it felt like we were developing a new marketing play every single month, trying to juggle SEO, Facebook ads, funnels, events, becoming a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And over time, we started to dilute our service offering. And quite frankly, weren't really serving our clients as best as we could because I was taking on things that I thought we should be doing as a marketing agency, but it wasn't value aligned for me and my purpose. And it probably wasn't mission aligned for some of our clients. It looked impressive from the outside, but inside it was chaotic, right? I was exhausted. The team was exhausted. We were overwhelmed. I felt stuck. I felt overwhelmed. Momentum comes from doing the right things in the right order. With clarity comes consistency and cohesion. So how are we supposed to break free from this fragmentation when we've got noise and these promises coming at us from all angles? I like to use what I call the 3C framework: to cut, to clarify, to commit. All right. To cut, ruthlessly eliminate everything that doesn't serve your strategy. I mean, everything. Back at the agency, I had to cut entire services. And it was liberating, and sometimes cutting clients that weren't aligned. Extremely liberating because it wasn't aligned with what we were best at and what we were trying to do as a business. It can be painful at first, but it created space. It created space for us to think, to improve, to iterate, to optimize the stuff that we were really good at. Then clarify. Choose a single North Star, as I like to say, your purpose statement, use your mission if you want, or a just cause for the next 90 days. For me, it became pretty simple. It was out of desperation and overwhelm and exhaustion. Stop chasing every single client, every service, every expansion possible to grow the business. Instead, choose one North Star for the next 90 days. For me, it was very simple. Stop chasing every client. There was a lot of clients that I said yes to that probably weren't value aligned looking back. And it was just a burden. Being able to cut some of those out, quite frankly, was liberating. Gave me a lot more space to breathe and focus in on what we did best and the clients and the work that I found the most joy in. Commit. Go all in on the few things that matter most. Again, for me, that was saying no to projects that weren't aligned with our purpose, allowing me to pour more energy into fewer and better relationships. It's hard to say no to clients and work when you got to keep the lights on. I get that, and I've been there. But it can sometimes be the most liberating thing when you listen to what really truly resonates as a business owner and follow through with that with conviction. You'd be surprised how many of those misaligned clients can drain all of your energy. Kind of like Pareto principle. 20% of those clients sometimes demand 80% of that energy, and it's a time suck. And a lot of times it's the ones that are paying you the least. This is what started to break that cycle for me. After spending years in this constant pursuit of more, of better, of bigger, more clarity, and finally some real momentum. So if you had to cut half the things on your plate right now, what would actually stay? Get ruthless, empty your backpack. What would truly move the needle for where you want to go and who you want to be as an entrepreneur? So here's a challenge this week. Write down everything that you worked on last week. Every meeting, every task, every campaign. Scratch out the ones that you think are unessential, but really just focus on circling the things that you think tie directly to that purpose, to that North Star vision. Cross out the rest and give yourself permission to pause or drop them all together and lean into the stuff that does light you up. Commit to doubling down on the things that are left, the things that you know and believe inspire and provide real momentum. So most of us stay stuck, but not because we're not working hard enough, but because we're working on too many disconnected things. Do less, but do it better. Clarity is what creates momentum. If this hits home, share it with another founder who's hustling hard, but continues to spin their wheels. We got to help each other out. Pay it forward. I appreciate you tuning in today. I hope this brought you a bit of confidence, clarity, and conviction on your business journey. If something here resonated, do me a favor, leave a quick review or share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. It goes a long way in helping more people find the show and start their own journey. And as always, you'll find all the resources and ways to connect with me in the show notes. Now, go take that next step in building the business you've been dreaming of. Wishing you continued purpose, prosperity, and peace of mind.